Tony Bloom has 10 million and Jim Duffy thinks it should be going to Rangers rather than Hart of Midlothian. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Got a really sore throat, so bear with us here. Bear with us in this Jim Duffy vid. Right, everybody, but here, Tony Bloom, he wants to bloom in Edinburgh. But Jim Duffy suggests that Glasgow would be the better city, as he says that the Hearts 10 million would do hee-haw, but the 10 million at Rangers would bring the Ibrox board to the table. Now, obviously, right, when you look at it, you would rather invest money in Rangers than Hearts, but I just don't think the Rangers board will be open to it. To be perfectly honest, I mean, we've seen recently, you know, the model that Tony Bloom has got has worked for whatever country, whatever team he's done. You can think Colossae, Brighton, among other teams. I believe there's a team in France as well. But I mean, Jim Duffy, obviously. I mean, I was doing a bit of research, and I can't believe Jim Duffy's 65, man. See, anytime I see him on Super Scoreboard, I'm like, damn, guy looks alright for his age, doesn't he? Definitely does look alright for his age. But in terms of what Jim Duffy actually said, that's what he told Clyde One Super Scoreboard. He says they should look at Rangers. I don't get the Tony Bloom thing at Hearts. They're going to put 10 million in and deal with the recruitment. Why would you not look at Rangers? They are a huge club and have an unbelievable fan base. Their recruitment hasn't been great, so you go in there with your analysis company and say, we'll look at the players. You would think there would be something a club like Rangers would have to look at. End of quote. Well, I think it's like two birds, one stone. It gets a bit of investment into Rangers, and it also means that hopefully you would stop signing flops. Sorry, you look at Rangers over the years, man. Over like the past couple of years, since the Gerrard window in 2021 summer. Ever since that summer window, I would say about 90 odd percent of the players that we have signed have been flops. There's a few players that have come in that have done alright. And it ain't just down to trophies, man. It's about everything else that they've brought to the table. You know, it's like, see Dujon Sterling, right? I'm not going to start blaming him and saying, oh, you know, it's Dujon Sterling's fault that we don't win trophies. There's other players, you know, one player can bring a lot to a team, but, you know, it's not all specifically one player's fault, so I'm not going to have a go at one specific signing. You know, the same way when we all have a go at James Tavernier. He's the captain, right? There is a lot of responsibilities on his shoulder and a lot of weight, but at the same time, you know, not every mistake at Rangers Football Club is down to James Tavernier, especially on the pitch. But like I said, I think 90% of Rangers' signings since that Gerrard window have been absolute pish. You know, overpriced, overpaid, just and there's been no sell-ons whatsoever, man. So even like Cholak, right? Sakal we brought in a frame, we sold him for a couple of million. Cholak, I think we made a little bit of a loss on, who were two of the better players were brought in around that time. Obviously, Gio brought in the big man Chulak the next season, but Sakala had 2 seasons at Rangers. And you know, you look at other players, man, that have just been lit to go. Like, look at that window with Gio. I mean, we brought Diallo and Ramsey in on loan, Sikowski, and who was the other guy we brought in? James Sands. It's like, see when out of those 4 players, James Sands was by far the best in terms of the impact at Rangers. It's like, how can that even be allowed to happen? But I do agree with Jim Duffy. You know, with Hearts, they're not going to be able to attract the same sort of players that Celtic and Rangers can get. But with Rangers, crucially, Rangers have a bit more money anyway than Hearts. Get your jokes in. And, you know, I think we can definitely follow this business model. So I, for one, would welcome Tony Bloom putting a stake into Rangers, and meaning that would be signing players and, you know, looking to sell them for big bucks. Because you know, see, unless you're a Real Madrid or a Manchester City or, you know, like a Liverpool, Arsenal, PSG, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, that's plenty. Every other club's a selling club. I strongly believe that. So there's nothing wrong with it.